Okay, so that is what we did last Monday. Okay, and we also discussed a few some past year's questions on that topic as well. So basically on chapter 2, okay, the main focus is on the PPF, why especially on the topic of opportunity cost, okay, what it means if the points are inside or outside the curve, okay, and what are the reasons if the curve shifting upward, okay, whether the shift is parallel or only on each side of the curve. Okay, so that is on the PPF subject. Okay, and then the question, the three main questions we already discussed this one. Okay, and the remaining topic will be on the so-called the type of economic system. Okay, so of course, as I mentioned last Monday, okay, there's a subject in the degree in the Bachelor of Economics where this is discussed for the whole semester. And there is a subject that covers this in detail. Okay, but because it is part of the syllabus and just a small portion of your in topic number 2. So we are just going to go through this thing very briefly so that at least you know what it means by socialism, capitalism, mixed economy, and also the Islamic economy model. Okay. So unfortunately, the questions that the past year's questions that I have, okay, does not have questions on this. So we will not be having any revision on this. Okay, but I think most of the components in each of these item, you can use your own logical argument. I mean, you can get the idea of what is socialism by now, capitalism, Islamic, and also mix. Okay, so we're just going to go through this thing quickly today, so that I want you guys to start communicating with your group members. Start early. Hey, when you have free time like this, you are still free from preparation for tests, exam, quizzes, or other subject assignments. So get a head start, okay, for your group assignment, so that if you finish early, then you can focus on other things. Okay, do not wait until the deadline, then you want to start communicating with your group members. Okay. Okay, so we have, so first we discuss on this capitalism. Okay, so the word capitalism from the root word capitalist. Okay, so where the forces of the market forces, okay, determines who gets what. Okay, who are rich, who are poor. Okay, so it based on what we call as the invisible hand, meaning the market forces. Okay, there should be almost no government interference. So everything is decided by the market. Okay, freedom to choose, encourage competition. So in other words, profit is the utmost, the most important objective or agenda. So when you do business, when you participate in a capitalist market, okay, it's like winners takes all. Okay, so if you are on the losing side, so you are going to to you will not be able to survive. Okay, so that is one of the main drawbacks of or disadvantage of capitalist market. Okay, so if you see pollutions, people factory dumping toxic waste in river, chopping down trees, okay, logging, I mean, pembalakan logging, okay, and all the massive flood that we see nowadays whenever we have heavy rain, and some states, for example, the last few months, okay, the number of states like Pahang, okay, were submerged, okay, under, I mean, they so massive flood, okay, during the raining season a few months ago. Okay, so many of these places were due to the effect of uncontrolled logging, okay, pembalakan. So that is a capitalist nature. So they only think about profit, okay, and not thinking about the on the social or the they don't have the society interest, okay. So only profit that matters. Okay, the highest the better, the higher the profit, the better it is. So they will take the the cheapest way possible to produce, okay, even though at the expense of consumer, okay. So you might, I think if you don't, if you still remember, a few months ago we were uh, surprised by this issue of uh, cartel for the import of meat, okay, and they mix the meat with, you know, ingredients that are not, I mean, for example, for Muslim, the non-halal meat source. Okay, so this is all due to the capitalist nature. Okay, anything that can bring them profit, so that they will go for that. Okay, so and I think on the advantages, of course, okay, when you encourage competition, people will try to survive, and they will come up with the best way possible to encourage innovation, research and development. Okay, so that is the advantage of having a capitalist market. Okay, so and then you also have this drawback, for example, the disadvantages. Okay, the disadvantages of capitalist market. Okay, lack of social welfare, wasteful competition, meaning okay, it will lead to inefficiency, you know, solutions, okay, inflation, because people might, you know, some companies might have the monopoly, okay, in certain market, so they might charge you higher than what the actual price is, okay. So that is in the US, the anti monopoly law, okay, is quite is quite strong, meaning if the companies were uh, characterized as is characterized as a monopolist, okay, so they might be subject to an antitrust law or anti-monopoly law. Okay, in Malaysia, not that evident. We have that kind of law in Malaysia. So that is for capitalist market. Okay, and then we have this socialism, which is not that many countries nowadays have the socialist type of market. Okay, maybe during the 1980s, this is many countries under the communist or socialist rule. Okay, the Soviet Union, and before the breakup of Soviet Union. Okay, many of the countries beside China, okay, practice socialism. Okay, so but even until today, China, despite being more open, okay, to the world economy, okay, a number of elements in the Chinese market is still under the socialist format. Okay, meaning that the government has a major say in the what company can produce. Okay, so for example, YouTube. Okay, or I mean, you should know by now the Google Play, for example, uh, is during the Trump administration in the US. Okay, so the fight between US and China is because you know, every country wants the best for so-called the best for their citizen. So like in China, YouTube is not the app that is freely that you can use openly. Okay, so there are apps or application in China which is completely different, or what we can use freely, like for many countries. It is not the case in China. Okay, so the element of socialist is where government has a major say, okay, significant control on the economy. Okay, so public ownership of resources. So I think one of the socialist element is in North Korea, okay, where government almost control everything. Okay, so China is more open, but still there are elements of socialism. Okay, and then you can see the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, of course, if the government manages the resources well, okay, then you can share the wealth or the income of the country okay, equally, meaning everyone. So you can, in theory, you are supposed to minimize the issue of uh, of unemployment and people without jobs, or so those issues should be able to be controlled. Okay, but in reality, that is not what happened, lah. Okay, so the loss of economic freedom, meaning you cannot decide on your own. Everything must be decided by the government. Okay, and not every time. In the case of North Korea, it may be true. Okay, in many aspects. Okay, but in China, of course, we have companies like the Alibaba. Okay, that are and global brand like the Huawei and many other brands. Okay, that are able to have their own freedom of design. Of course, it is still under the government control. Some of the elements are still under government control, but okay, if we talk about pure socialist market, so these are the disadvantages. Okay, and thirdly is on the Islamic economy. Okay, which I cannot say 100. We can have a true country in the world. There is no one country in the world that actually practices the word Islamic economy. Okay, maybe if you want to say Arab Saudi, the Saudi Arabia has practice the Islamic law, but when it comes to Islamic economy, okay, we cannot say 100%. Okay, so because even many of the Gulf countries are also open to the so-called capitalist nature, okay, market style. So not 100% purely on the Islamic economy nowadays. Okay, maybe during so what of the characteristics that you see here, okay, maybe mostly just in terms of theory. Okay, in terms of real practice, okay, even the countries in the Gulf region, okay, not we cannot say 100% they are based on the Islamic model. Okay, and finally, I think this is the most common market structure around the world. Okay, which is on the mixed economic system, which is a combination of capitalism and also element of socialism, meaning government will interfere or take part, okay, whenever they feel necessary. For example, in Malaysia, okay, we are characterized as a mixed economic system where government will have a major say in uh, some parts of the market, okay, especially for basic basic I mean outputs, basic stuff, for example, for rice, okay, benda-benda, the output, for basic necessities, okay, barang-barang keperluan. Okay, so those are still under the government control. Who gets to import, okay, rice and everything. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay, so the last or the third, the fourth economic structure, which is the mixed economic system, okay, is considered the most common one, okay, especially for country like Malaysia. Okay, so government intervenes, okay, to prevent undue concentration of economic power, monopolistic or restrictive, meaning government will take part, okay, and will have major influence if they feel that, okay, if they let the market decide everything, so that is not the best interest for the country, okay, and especially during COVID-19 pandemic, okay, where government role is very important, not only in country like Malaysia, but for country that is very synonym with capitalists like the US, okay, where the new administration under Joe Biden, okay, have released, have passed the assistance. I think they will give cash assistance to all of to many of the citizens in the US, okay, to help cope with the impact of COVID-19. So that is the element of mixed economy. So that we cannot say for sure. We cannot say that there is a country that 100% 100% capitalist. But for country like Malaysia, we are more synonym with this element of mixed economy. Okay, so I think so. That's it for chapter number 2. Okay, as I mentioned, there is no questions from past year that focuses on the remaining part of this market structure. Okay, so but what you have is mainly on the PPM